What's up, Quad Cortex users? Today we are looking at something that only the Quad Cortex can do. If it's your first time here, my name's Steve Sterlacci. I do all things digital amp modeling on this channel, and in particular, I do a lot with Quad Cortex. I've been taking it on tour for the past year or so, and I have no plans to change. So if that's your thing, consider hitting subscribe because my analytics tell me that 80% of my views come from people that are not subscribed. So today, what are we talking about? Something that only the Quad Cortex can do at this high of a level. I want to see if I can make a full backup rig for all of the stringed instruments in my band using only the Quad Cortex. So we travel and we tour at an independent level. We do everything on our own. We bring our own gear, carry our own stuff, no tour bus or fancy stuff like that. Especially when we're overseas in Europe, we want to be as travel friendly and light as possible. And I was sitting at band rehearsal yesterday, actually, and I was like, what if someone else's stuff goes down? For those that don't know, I travel with my wife is my singer, and she's the songwriter. She's the star of the show. And I also control all of her electric guitar sounds. And my father-in-law, her dad, is actually our bass player. So I was sitting there wondering, what if everybody else's stuff went down? What if for some reason we couldn't operate or somebody's rig went down? And actually, we had this case. We went to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. We played for the Army base there. And Pete, our bass player, forgot the power supply to his HX Stomp. So I actually had to do this once before where I put his bass rig through my Quad Cortex, and it worked out really well. So I want to see how much I can get away with the Quad Cortex, where I can still not sacrifice my guitar sound and the signal that I want to have, but I can also run Jessica's acoustic guitar and electric guitar through one signal and the bass through a completely separate signal and output. And I'm going to kind of take you through live with me here and try to do this on the fly. So how this is going to work is I'm going to give everybody their own row. And I'm going to arrange things. And if you've seen my videos before, I have a very specific and serious complaint that I'm going to show you how I've officially remedied and won't be complaining about anymore because I'm just going to do it this way and it makes more sense. And we are going to need XLR outs. I never prefer to use a 1/4 inch to XLR adapter in any way, shape, or form. So I always prefer to give a front of house engineer XLR. So I'm going to be using this radial highline, which is sponsored by Sweetwater being here. This is going to be what I use for the acoustic and the bass outputs. So these XLRs are going to be the outputs for those two extra instruments. Normal output 1, normal output 2, both mono. Both XLRs are going to be my electric guitar and Jessica's electric guitar respectively. I have a video on my touring preset, so if you want to check that out, it's the same one. I'm just going to kind of throw some stuff around. And I'm choosing the highline because if you're using a processed signal, using a line isolator like this is going to be what gives the best signal, the least coloration, and the best representation of what you're making in your preset. So that's why I'm choosing the radial highline for this. Okay, so here we go. Now, I violently hate that this is my guitar, input 1 is me, and I have to go from here to row 3. So my signal path is row 1 and row 3. Why can't my signal path be rows 1 and 2? That's been my complaint forever. So Jessica, the other electric guitar rig, is this row 2. As you can see, input 2 and output 2. So here's my workaround here. All I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag everything into the other rig. So basically I'm swapping Jessica's rig and my rig. Okay, now I'm going to change this to input 1. That's going to become input 2. This is going to become output 2. So we got to make sure that we're going to mono so that we can have all of these options. And I'm going to change my output, input 1. Actually, no, I'm going to change this, sorry. This is going to be, look at that. Now I have 2 consecutive rows for my one signal. That's That's what I've been trying to get for the longest time. I can go here and I can go here. This middle is all me. It's mine for the taking and no one can take it away from me. So I'm going to hit save now. And now I have two instruments here that I'm ready to go with. Now here, I'm going to make this into the bass. So I'm going to use this signal as return 1. I actually have in my directory that bass preset is here. So I'm just going to take what I know that he likes and I'm going to copy and paste it right into this rig. And paste device. I'm going to hit save. Oops, I don't know what direction I want to go. Copy device. Paste device. Save. And paste device, and I'm going to save. Change this to output 4, so that's my 1/4 inch out for 4. Okay, so now this should be a solid full rig, and you might be asking, but where are we going to put the acoustic? And the answer to that is going to be, I'm going to save as and go to a completely different preset because Jessica plays both electric and acoustic, but never at the same time, obviously. So this will be my band backup number 1, and then I'm going to go to save as, and I'm going to make that band backup A. So I have band backup E for electric and band backup A for acoustic. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to leave that compressor because I actually really like it. And now I'm also going to now change this because this also needs to be a complete different input. This is going to be return 2, output 3, and this is going to be Jessica's acoustic guitar. So for this, I'm going to use a neural capture from my friend Rod Castro, who was on my podcast. When he was on the podcast, he was using Kemper, but now he's transitioned to Quad Cortex and he's playing with some of the biggest artists in the world and some of the biggest records in the world. So I definitely recommend you look up Rod Castro. I think he has this for free on his page. It's Kemp Hi-Fi when I downloaded it, but now it's something different. I think he names it something for his acoustic. I'll link to his presets in the description. So I'm going to use his capture of that, and then I'm going to put Jesus, which one of these is IR again? There we go. I'm going to go to IR, single mono. This is also by recommendation of Rod. Rod Castro is known for his live acoustic sound, so this is kind of an adaptation of his Kemper acoustic rig that he captured, and this is his Sela J45 with a C414 microphone. I'm going to go to page 2 here. I'm going to add just a ton of room mix, and yeah, I'll keep that at medium, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, so now I've got 2 presets that if for some reason we ever needed to, I've got these right next to each other. Jessica's electric and Jessica's acoustic are here, and me and the bass can operate as normal with no sacrifice, no anything. And where Quad Cortex really just owns everything else here is that I have so much in this preset and I can actually keep adding stuff. So if I did want to add more stuff to this preset, I have the ability to do so. If I wanted to add some chorus, for example, to Pete's bass, I can just do all of that, and you know, Quad Cortex won't break a sweat. The vulgar display of power, as they call it. So there's plenty of options, plenty of leftover DSP here, and I've got a killer rig. Let's plug these in and see how they sound. All right, let's test this out. Going into return 2, into the compressor. Let's see how we're hitting this. This is my Gibson Hummingbird. And I got an LR Bags Anthem put in here, which is awesome. Love the pickup. Okay, it's not a bad sound, right? I think that'll work for the most part, right? Why not? Yeah, I think that'll sound good. Maybe I'll put an EQ here too. Just do like a parametric here at the end, so that just in case anything happens when we plug in live, that we can make those fast adjustments. And yeah, that should be a cool acoustic sound. Here we go. This is the bass sound. Good enough for bass, right? I know, I'm not a traditional bass player. And again, if you want to check out what the electric guitar sounds like, I don't want to take up the entire video with that stuff because I already have one, and my tour vlog. So if you ever see any tour vlogs of Jessica's or mine that we post from our tours, you'll hear those same electric presets. Those are the same ones that we use live. I do have that preset up on the cloud if you want to check it out. That has all of our electric guitar rig. If you guys want this preset, let me know in the comments. And if this video hits like 500 likes, then I'll upload this with all four, both presets with all 4 rows, so that you guys can have your own band backup. And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.